Crazy that we don't go out anymore.
Welcome to istreem TV. Bit of a frog in my throat. I've done quite a few interviews already now, so you felt my voice will be husky now, and by tomorrow it'll be much more huskier. But yeah, welcome back to istreem TV. We are live at Brighton Music Conference on at Brighton Beach, and this time in the van I've got one of my very own DJs. Welcome, Sean Scanlan.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Thanks for having us.
So Sean has been in charge of the disco bug all day.
It's been absolutely rocking.
It's been rocking the disco bug. It's been a little bit chilly.
A little bit windy, a little bit windswept, a little bit of windburn.
Yeah, so the sun is not shining for us at the moment, which is a bit sad, but it doesn't matter when we're in the van, does it?
Carry on, we party.
We carry on, all weathers, come rain, come shine.
It's all about the music.
The music keeps going. We've been rocking the disco bug all day.
We have.
Keeping it going. The radio stream sounding fat, sounding lovely, and all the other people, they're listening to it in the warm.
Yeah. Enjoying themselves at home.
So Sean, tell us. So obviously you're participating in the conference this year as part of istreem Radio.
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you for being one of my resident DJs.
Thank you for having me.
And you've been with us since the start.
Yeah, istreem, and obviously followed you as well for many, many years. Back in the ideal days.
In the ideal days, when did you first start watching Ideal? Well, can you remember the first show and you're like, who's that crazy Essex bird?
I can't remember. I can't remember when it came up actually. Yeah, I remember doing because you started all the live TV back then. Yeah.
So yeah,
and
back
obviously
in
your Ibiza Uncovered days as well.
You've been following me for a while. You've been stalking me, Sean.
Yeah. Finally got you.
Finally got me in the van.
Got you in the van.
Hell no. And my husband's at the Labour Lounge.
How long we got?
It's all fun. So me and Sean are both from Essex, can you tell?
Sound like you're from London.
Got to try not to cackle. Try not to cackle down the microphone, Ellen. Oh, Ellen, Sacha, who am I? I've got two names, but we won't go into that now.
It's not the weekend yet.
So, Sean, tell us, when did you first realise that you wanted to become a DJ?
When I went to my first disco when I was 6.
When you were 6?
Yeah. I just remember going to I think it was a school disco or a party.
Yeah.
And I just remember walking into this hall and there was, this DJ in the corner. I was just like, what's that? And it's flashing lights and that was it. I was hooked. Then got into it.
Full school disco type.
Yeah, and then just really interested in it. And then just went from there. And then people like Norman Cook, Fatboy Slim was a massive inspiration for me back in the day. I remember being at school and then there was loads of documentaries of him playing different things. Just like staying up late and just watching him play all these parties.
You're like, I want to do that.
Yeah, it's incredible. And obviously, vinyl. Got my first pair of decks, pair of sound labs, belt drives. Awful things to mix on there. And then went on to Technics. Got involved in the school discos, like in senior school. And then got into clubs when I was 15.
So you started spinning in your teens, did you? Was it? Or
so I started at Zeus in Chelmsford.
Oh, did you?
Back in the day, back in 1999 I started.
1999.
Yeah, but I was still at school, so I was DJing at night and then rocking into maths next day. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, I was over 18 nights, so it's like student nights on the Monday and the Thursday, and it just progressed from there.
So what's the first song that you remember hearing that really got you into it? It's like, into house music.
Oh God.
Or disco.
I remember my first vinyl.
What was your first vinyl?
Bamboo Bamboogie.
Bamboo Bamboogie.
That's my first vinyl I ever bought. Went to HMV and bought it.
7-inch?
No, 12-inch.
12-inch.
That's my first 12, yeah. But then my dad had loads of vinyl.
Right.
And he was more into things like the Sex Pistols and things like that. So
right.
all on 7-inch. But yeah, it's just great. And then I've got my own record collection, which I've managed to keep hold of.
Well done, you.
So yeah, it's more.
You have to sell it at any point.
No, I think my mum's tried to get rid of it a few times, but no, it's my DJ history. But it did come in handy a few weeks ago because we used to play a lot of old school garage as well. So we went back and we did an old school garage brunch. So it was like that.
The old school garage was big in the Essex scene, wasn't it?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, 2000s for those couple of years. But at the time I got into clubs, I was playing with a lot of like hard house and trance DJs, and they were doing all their nights, and they hated garage. But yeah, for me, I was playing house, and then I got into garage, and I was like, can you jump on and play like a half-hour set? And I was like, yeah. And before you knew it, we had like Tuesday nights, then became a garage night. And then we started, all the MCs turned up, and then 20 years later, they're all still around, all still doing it. So things like Garage Nation and things like that.
Yeah, it's all come back round again, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge buzz for garage at the moment.
So your love of dance music and DJing and club world was born.
Indeed.
And you never looked back.
No.
Thank God for that.
Still going.
Thank God for that.
Nearly in my 40s. Well, no, I've got a couple of years yet.
Age is just merely a number.
Indeed.
It's just a number.
I hope I'm still playing. But again, like you look at Cole Cox, Norman Cook. They're like late 50s now, aren't they? Nearly 60s.
Over 60, yeah.
Yeah, and they're still playing, and it's great to see.
Well, there isn't any shelf life on having a good time.
Nope.
Playing records. It's not like you can't play records when you're 80.
Exactly.
As long as people still want to see you playing, and people still having a good time to you, then there shouldn't be any shelf life.
Nope.
It's one of the
age is just a number.
And it's one of the things the media have done. Is always trying to jump on the new, young, best thing.
Yeah.
For me personally, most of the time, they're really not the best DJs.
No.
And that's just purely because they haven't had the experience yet.
Yeah.
Because from many years of DJing, it's those.
It is experience.
Those hours.
This one.
Carefully the light.
Trashing the place. This is, you find that in a lot of high street clubs now or on bars. Yes, it's all very well having a young DJ, but if you've got a real mixed crowd, then they haven't got that experience or they haven't got the tracks to then be able to fulfill that night.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult.
Yeah, not quite the knowledge to make everybody happy in the room.
Yeah. Obviously, if you've only got a certain amount of music, you can only play to a very small crowd. You might get away with it, but then other times you might not.
I think that's a really, really important thing to touch upon for DJs as a whole, as we are at Brighton Music Conference and talking
Surrounded
about
by
DJs. And DJs is my mastermind specialist subject.
You've helped a lot.
I try my best. I think DJing is a job.
Yep.
What is the job, Sean?
Playing or finding new music.
And what does that job do for? You can tell where I'm leading you. What does the job do for people? What is the job all about? As in,
just let them forget. There is nothing better than playing to a crowd, or if you go to a club and you can play for 5-6 hours and you can make people forget about all their problems.
That's it.
For that amount of time, and that's it. That's what it's all about.
Lose them in the music.
Exactly, and finding new music, and like when you find new tracks, there's nothing more exciting than I want to play this track out, and then you turn up and you play it, and then you do get a few people start nodding their heads, tapping their feet, or like now obviously got like Shazam and things like that, so you see people on their phones like trying to find tracks, or they will come and ask.
What's this?
Yeah, all the younger ones are just on their phones like, this is Shazam.
Why can't I get this on Shazam?
Yeah, because it's exclusive. Well, it's not quite out yet. I think promos and things like that. I think promos are still important. There's a lot of quite lucky with a lot of labels and a lot of DJs. I get stuff sent direct before it comes out, which is always quite nice. So we get exclusives on the radio. Still important. So again, it's going back to like the vinyl days. Finding those tracks that no one else is really playing.
Digging.
Yep, it's important. I mean, why do you want to hear every DJ play the same set?
We don't all want to hear the Beatport number 1, do we?
No.
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 It's a no from us, especially when the Beatport number 1 is generally not the greatest track right now.
Yeah, indeed.
if I was to say, not to,
To be honest, I prefer track source. I think there's a lot more.
It was one of the questions I was going to put on my quick fire was Beatport or track source.
Track source.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something. Or it's for me. It's just something that's always drawn me to it. I think it's just easy to find stuff as well. So you got the categories and you got like the DJ charts as well.
Where else do you find music? So where do you go looking? Is it?
To me, it's mainly track source,
right.
And I do get sent a lot
and
from directly
so between
from
that,
DJs and
you're
producers
finding
and labels.
everything you need.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's, for me, that's one of the things that I love about the radio, in the fact of there's so much music out there that isn't getting the light of day, that isn't getting heard, that isn't getting the money spent behind it, or hasn't got the big artist's name behind it. There's some amazing music that isn't getting heard, that everybody else isn't playing, and I for me, that's part of being the DJ, is to find that track that nobody else has got.
Yeah.
Or not nobody. I mean, it's hard these days to have a track that nobody else has got.
Yeah. It's also if you're willing to play that track as well, because there's a lot of DJs which get sent stuff.
Yeah.
But they won't take the risk and play it.
Won't take the risk, yeah.
Because they want that full dance floor and things like that. It's just like play it safe all the time. But if everyone gets on playing it safe, it's just never going to progress.
It becomes very staid and boring, doesn't it?
And we're starting to see this with a lot of festivals now. We've got the same lineups. DJs are getting booked for their social medias.
Same set rolling out at every festival.
Yeah.
It's and it doesn't evolve the scene. It doesn't evolve the music. It doesn't push through. I know, Mike's obviously doing a label lounge at the moment, and I know for him as a DJ, when he finds that new artist or somebody that's never had any light of day, and they play him their track or it comes through to his email, he's like, fucking hell, this is good, mate. And he knows that this, whoever it is, there's probably nobody has fed back to him.
Yeah.
And when you do feed back to those and you give them that kind of, and it's not just, it's not about blowing smoke up anybody's arse. It's about giving them some actual feedback.
Yeah, honest feedback.
Do you know what, mate? I listen to that, and that's really good. And if you can take the different bits from a experienced artist like yourself, like Mike, that have listened to so much music over the years, if you can take that quality advice without taking it too personally or going, but I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, why doesn't this person want to sign it, that kind of thing.
That's the thing. There's so many labels out there that you might approach a label and they might turn around and say it's not for me, but that doesn't mean it's a bad track. It just means it doesn't sit well with them.
And so I was talking to Charlie about this as well. And that is it. It's
but don't give up. That's the thing as well. Or start your own label.
Self-release.
It's a no-brainer.
So I'm a big advocate for self-releasing. You can sign to the biggest label in the world and make no money off.
Yeah, and then you get promised all the gigs.
And at the end of the day, when you're spending so much time and you've got a great track and you've worked so hard on it and it deserves all the light of day. And it sometimes can get loads of attention and you make absolutely nothing out of it, or
you get promised the world,
or pittance, or promise the world and somebody stop taking your calls all of a sudden, and this kind of thing that happens in the industry, that can be really, really soul destroying. When people have taken your music that is top drawer, and not giving it the value you would have given it,
or it just like I said, it deserves.
Or it is, and you know what it deserves. And so I would always say to anybody, self-release, build up your fan base, build up those people that love you, love your sound, love your work, want to see you continue, can't wait to hear your next track out.
And then from there, put your own events on and start creating these smaller events, because like we're saying, it's just, otherwise it's going to become very, very stale.
Totally. At the end of the day, if you've got 100 fans, and you sell 100 of your tracks for £1, generally that's an awful lot more than you're going to get from most labels these days.
Yeah, and also then you can reinvest in that as well.
Yeah.
So then it goes back into your next track, and things like that.
And then the process starts to work organically as it should.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of people being rinsed.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel very strongly about that, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I try and get 3 to 4 tracks out a year, which is quite a nice number. So yeah, once it sort of dies down, then you're ready for the next one. Yeah.
So what do you like most about being a DJ?
Probably for me as well, same as customers, just getting into that zone, and you can just lose yourself in the music. It's just
And what do you dislike about it most?
People abusing their positions,
Abuse of power.
Things like that. And it, again, it goes back to artists which deserve to be seen, which aren't being
used.
Yeah, and things like that.
Yeah, totally. Favorite track on your USB right now?
It's too many.
Everyone said that.
Oh yeah,
literally. I've said that to everybody, and they're like, "Oh god, there's so many great tracks on my USB right now. Which one do I choose?"
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's such a selection. I mean, Samuel Hardy's got some great new tracks out, which I was playing earlier. We've got Mickey Moore, Andy Tonic from Groove Culture, incredible tracks. It's just depending on which track it is, really.
We need to listen to your. We'll put your set from the Disco Bug up on SoundCloud, and then we can hear all of your biggest tracks on your USB right now.
Yeah, the full hour.
Who's inspiring you right now in the music scene?
So not house orientated, more the garage side.
Right.
The moment Girls Don't Sink.
I remember you mentioning.
I keep on mentioning these girls.
Yeah.
So 4 girls. They all play back to back. They're incredible energy between them. I saw them at their headline show at Hackney. They did. But 5-hour set I think they played.
Killing it.
Absolutely brilliant. And they're just the energy's just there from the start. And then they did. They opened up at Printworks. I've seen them twice.
Nice.
But the thing
Girls
I also
Don't
like,
Sink. It's a great name, that, isn't it?
Yeah, and the other thing is they're using their social media platforms in a good way. They are reaching out to people. So Sophia suffers from diabetes type 1.
Right.
So recently she's been speaking out about how she feels, and she got so many comments back from people in the same position, and I believe she's set up a WhatsApp group.
Right.
For people, so they can have a chat. So if they're not feeling too good or they're feeling a bit low, they can message in. So she's using her platform,
group.
And also the girls as a group are also
that's
sharing
great.
the posts as well, just making people aware.
Mm.
I mean, it's got to be tough. I mean, obviously being a touring DJ, normally, obviously that takes it out of you, and then to have that as well. So
there's power in sharing stories, and your own personal stories. Sometimes those most personal of stories that you're like can feel really can make you feel quite vulnerable by opening up to them.
Yeah.
When you do, there's true love and power that comes in.
Inundated. Yeah, I mean, it's really nice because when she's getting comments, obviously she's then reposting them, resharing them, and obviously adding comments of her own to those posts.
And it's a beautiful thing because it works both ways. You know, the person that's been brave enough to share their story feels so much stronger for actually resonating with all these people and them going, this happened to us too, I feel like this, it really works. And then the other side are going, well, look at that person that I really looked up to is suffering the same thing as I am.
Yeah.
And it suddenly brings everybody back down to that equal playing field of, we're all the same. We're all dealing with different shit.
Yeah.
One day's good, one day's bad. One day I can't walk, next day I can.
Like I said, like sharing as well, and also then also it brings into like the mental health side as well. Obviously if you are sort of alone with something, and obviously it plays on your mind all the time. But I mean, sharing that, it's been great.
There is pretty much nothing in this world that nobody else is experiencing.
Yeah.
However alone you ever feel, there's somebody out there that's going through
worse.
exactly the same thing. similar things, exactly the same things, and there's not just one. There's hundreds, there's thousands, there's millions.
Yeah,
exactly. You know, we're all human. We're all dealing with all those kind of things. One of the problems with social media is it's the gloss of life.
Yeah, it's don't take anything you see on social media for real. I mean, all these people living their best lives, and
I'm living my best life, and everything's amazing.
Yeah, I'm on a beach and I'm on this. It's like, great, good for you. That's great. But behind that, you'll probably find that it's a front.
It is,
for a lot of it.
Yeah, and the more front there is, the bigger the problem is.
Yeah.
That is good advice. Is that the piece of, cause leading me on, so the piece of advice you would give to anyone trying to make a career in the music business of today?
Get involved. If you're into certain music, certain scene, go to the parties.
Yeah.
Go and see people. And also, go by yourself. I spend a lot of time by myself, and I'm quite happy to go out by myself. A lot of friends, they think I'm nuts. They're like, why are you going out by yourself? But the thing is, when you turn up to an event, no one knows you're there by yourself.
Of course they don't.
But you might get someone and they'll come over and go, "Are you by yourself?" And you go, "Yeah," which is great. Again,
there's power in that as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it is, but it's also, it cuts out the drama, because the thing is, obviously, if you've got a group of friends, not everyone's going to be into the same sort of music.
Yeah, you're being pushed and pulled.
Yeah. So, and you've got to make a choice. I mean, for me, I love my house, love my disco, but then I love metal. So I'll go to a festival and things like that, but then a lot of my friends won't be into that.
So better that you go on your own and have a good time than go, I've got nobody to go with, so I'm going to sit at home. Yeah,
well, because you're always going to get that one person.
Or nobody else likes this music, or, whatever it might be.
Yeah, so I mean, I can
don't let that stop you.
I can turn up when I want. If I want to stay till the end, I can. If I want to leave early, I can.
Yeah.
You haven't got to worry about your friend getting drunk, or someone trying to start a fight, or the one that doesn't really want to be there, and it's just like, cut all the hassle out.
In fact, I think I'm going to go out on my own again more often.
But it's great. But also, I
haven't been out on my own for a while, to be fair. Not since I've been married, probably. But
well, there you go. Do it together. Well, that's me. Yeah, if you find someone to do it
but
with.
I used to do a lot of things on my own, and as a female, sometimes that can be even harder.
Yeah, imagine it quite daunting.
But there was always certain places that I could go that I knew that I would always be welcome.
Yeah.
So I used to always go down to Turnmills, because it was like I knew I could walk into Turnmills and it didn't matter that I was on my own.
You were home.
I think that was one of the things about the rave scene as well.
Yeah.
As to the fact of a lot of people used to go out on their own all of the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't a rare thing then.
No. But it's also about me. Obviously, if you go to an event and you know that you like the music, you're going to turn up, and everyone there is into the same thing. So you're automatically surrounded by like-minded people.
Yeah, everybody becomes your friend on the dance floor.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Again, like Printworks turned up in the queue, couple in front of me. They're mum and daughter, and got chatting. And that was the thing. You find out you got things in common, into same music. But it's great. And the nicest thing was, it's like, there was like no judgment or like no laughter. It's like, you're by yourself. It's like, and they're like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then you start chatting, and then you spend the rest of the night, and then that's how you meet people. And
it's people's fear that holds them back. That fear of people will think I've got no friends.
Yeah, or I'm going to be laughed at. Or things like that. But then everyone's got different situations. So like a lot of my friends have like got kids, or they've got girlfriends, or they've got married. People with like different financial things that they've got going on. So and
it's always, if you're ever feeling like that, you're always worrying about all of these things that you're completely uncontrollable. What anybody else, one person might go, what's that person doing on their own? The other person might go, that's great, I'm going to go out and meet that person. And
honestly, definitely, just do it.
And so it is. You've got to stop worrying about what anybody else thinks. Do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Have fun.
Exactly.
Don't stay in.
Life is too short.
Life is too short. If you're on your own and you're feeling like I ain't got anybody to go out with, just go out.
Just go and do it. Book a ticket.
Do it.
Rock up and just enjoy it. And
do it.
And you will come away and it's like, yes, I've done it.
And if you really don't want to go on your own, call Sean.
Yeah. Always up for going out.
Exactly.
if I'm not playing.
As long as it's not bad music, he's there.
I don't think there is any bad music. There is a time and
There
place
is bad
for
music.
every type of music. I think.
No, I don't
throughout the
agree.
day. No, what don't you like?
So Quincy Jones said,
Yep.
there's good music
Yep.
and there's bad music.
Okay. What's bad music?
Money music made for pure money, with no soul, no passion, that hurts my ears and makes my tinnitus go like that.
Okay.
That for me is bad music. Each their own.
Yep.
I'm totally there. Like, if if that really, really floats your boat, makes your antennas twitch, and makes you tingle, then great. Everybody, each their own. I'm all pro-choice, all pro-choice, but I do think that there is a level of music critique that should be done.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of that's going on at the moment is people going, oh yeah, that's great, and yeah, that's great, and oh yeah, that's great, and it's like, no, it's not great.
No. Yeah, there's
It's not great.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of people pleasing going on.
Yeah, and so the music's not going to evolve, and especially the young artists coming through. That if everybody's telling them that, oh yeah, that's great, and actually it's badly produced and
or average,
very average, and it's not going to get them anywhere, and it's all very throwaway. Then, if there's people going, oh yeah, that's the greatest thing, how are they ever going to grow?
Exactly.
They're not.
And
The music's not going to grow. They're not going to grow. They're being told just something wishy-washy to move them on and
like you
move
said,
them
it's
to the next
throwaway, and that's
Yeah.
what we need to come away from, because like nowadays you don't get the club classics. So obviously 90s, the 2000s. I mean, you can still play club classics now.
thing.
And everyone knows
Timeless.
them. Yeah, they're timeless, but you don't get tracks like that now because people aren't making tracks to last. They're literally like making a track. It's out this week. Buy it, and within a week or two, it's that's it. It's done, and then there's like another track. But yeah,
So obviously there is the problem in our world right now with attention span.
Oh, it's minimal. Goldfish.
It's got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and now the attention span is so short. To try and actually grab somebody's attention, that is where you're getting these kind of shock factors.
Yeah.
If you follow me online, you may have seen that I was asking why it is that Seth Troxler keeps having to get naked now for his promo.
Yep.
And so I put out and said, why does Seth Troxler, maybe once might be funny.
Yep.
But every single time, it's like, so this is a joke that's like worn quite thin. I'm not having a go, Seth. All right? I'm not having a go. If I was your manager, if I was your mate, I'd say exactly the same thing. It's the kind of attention seeking that I don't think is good influence to show. We can all get our clothes off, Sean. I'm sure if we get our clothes off and run around Brighton Music Conference, we're going to get loads of attention, mate. Loads.
Yeah. Everyone straight there'll be like straight mobile phones, and that's the thing now.
We'll
it's
go viral.
Everything
Should
is
we go
so
viral?
instant.
Maybe we should do it. But no. So.
Where's Mike?
But that's it. It's like, so I think it's a really, really important thing that you don't just do anything for attention.
No.
It is a world away from anything. So seeing Seth Troxler naked on Facebook doesn't make me want to go and see him play at Eastern Electrics. There's nothing, there's nothing there going.
Didn't work for you.
God, I really want to go. Really want to go and see him play now. It's actually a turn off.
Yeah.
And it's getting more and more of a turn off because that's not what DJing's about.
Oh no, not at all.
I love a stunt.
So it's worked in some ways because
is.
obviously, it's drawn that attention.
And we're talking about it. So
again,
yes, the intention for it was to get attention.
Yeah.
And
but
so
not
yes,
for the right reasons.
it does get attention.
Yeah.
But what kind of attention?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of attention you want?
No.
Is that the kind of, I would ask it to any other DJ, is that the kind of attention you want?
Yeah.
Is that
And
going
at
to
what
make
point-
you feel
And
really
obviously,
good?
at what point as an artist did you agree to that? It's just so like also who talked you into that? Oh yeah, this would be great. So get naked and you'll probably sell a load of records, or you might sell your show out.
But who's going to be there?
Exactly.
People that want to see you naked.
I mean, there's clubs out there which do that.
on that bit of non-naked DJ. I mean, is he going to DJ naked next? Is that what the next stunt is? Who knows?
We have to wait and see, won't we?
So, Seth, if you're listening or watching, or if anybody else is listening and watching and wants to tell him, Seth, you don't have to take your clothes off to have a good time. No. Anyway.
Moving on.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us before the quickfire round?
Are we doing that, are we?
Oh, yeah.
We had a little test last night.
Anything else you'd like to share? Anything else you'd like to tell us?
So I think, going back to festivals again, it's just lineups and people. Again, it's just like the whole thing with like people with big followers doesn't equal ticket sales.
No.
There was a thing.
Danny
with,
was talking a lot about this earlier.
So Melvo Baptiste, he got called out by a guy on Twitter the other day. How dare he charge £10 for tickets to go and see him play when he only has 4,000 followers?
What?
And yeah, I mean,
what?
Melvo gave it back to him, and he was very professional about it. But he did say, he's like, this is the biggest problem in the industry at the moment. There is, he said, like, artists with big followers don't equal big ticket sales, and this is the problem with festivals. Also, we are seeing the same lineups all the time. Local festival I came down to a couple of weeks ago, 2 DJs out of 3 arenas that really done it for me. That was Flavour D, and she absolutely killed it. I mean, she was working it and she was enjoying what she was doing. And Low Stepper, that was it. I mean, out of everyone I saw that day, they were the 2 that really done it for me.
The take from that is look past the numbers.
Yeah.
Look past the likes.
Again, let's go back to the music.
Yeah. Are you listening?
Yeah.
You know, are people actually listening to the music before they look at how popular that person is on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever it may be?
Yeah. Take those numbers.
I often find,
blank the numbers out.
and this is just me, this is just my opinion, I often find that the more popular the music is, the worse it is.
True.
That's just me, but anyway.
Blank the numbers out, listen to the music.
Blank the numbers, listen. Yeah. I think it's a really, really strong thing as to people aren't, because of the attention span problem,
Yep.
the listening problem is happening. So people will like flick on, go, oh, I don't like that. And they've like, and I do it all the time. So I like test people and like for a different bit of music, and I'll play it with them, and they're like, oh, what's this? And I'm like, you've literally heard 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You've literally heard 5 seconds. You've not given it any time.
No.
You've got to listen to it before you can critique it.
Yeah, of course. And also listen as well, because it's a story. Especially like things like with the disco house, a lot of stuff I play. I mean, some of the tracks are like 7 to 9 minutes. If a producer's made a track that long, there's a reason for it. Listen to it. And also, if you're a DJ as well, play the majority of it as well. Don't like chop in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
If you're going to go back to being a party DJ, verse, chorus, next track, verse, chorus.
It's a different type of DJ.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Don't play that. Don't play that sort of style
and
of
this
music.
is where that Spotify generation of like the 2-minute edits thing that's going through. It's just like.
I mean, radio edits for us we're like 3.5 minutes, and it was you had to be 3.5 minutes.
Cut it right down
now,
from your 7 or 8
it's
minute
like
track.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's just,
wow.
Yeah, it's too short. You can't get into it. There's no flow.
No, and it's
just
everything's
like
just quick. Yeah, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, totally. Are you ready for the quickfire?
Go on in.
Hold on. Am I ready for the quickfire?
How quick is quick?
House or techno?
House.
Edam or Stilton?
Edam.
Red or blue pill?
Blue.
Love or money?
Love.
Johnny or Amber?
Johnny.
City or countryside?
Countryside.
Cats or dogs?
Cats. I like your cat as well.
I love my cat. Glastonbury or Burning Man?
I'd say Burning Man, but I haven't been to either of them, so
I'll take you to Burning Man next year, Sean. Let's do it.
yeah.
I really want to go next year. Desperate.
I mean, everyone's desperate.
We're all desperate to get to the desert. Desert desperados we are. Desert desperados. Ant or deck?
The little one, Deck. I think it's Deck.
Don't, right? Every time anybody asks me, I have this
I always get mixed up.
panic attack in my head because I'm sure Ant is the taller
one. Yeah.
Deck
Deck's
is
the little
the smaller one.
Yeah. But for me, it's Biker Grove.
Biker Grove.
Yeah.
For me, it's let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah. Well, it's all the same time, wasn't it? It's like, that's how. Yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble. Slow and soft or hard and fast?
Slow and soft.
Small dirty rave or big shiny festival?
Dirty.
Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Mods or rockers?
Rockers.
Vinyl or digital?
Vinyl.
Obey the rules or fuck the police?
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police. And on that
In
note,
a nice way.
we're going to thank Sean Scanlan for an amazing little interview, an amazing time in the van. We'll have you in the van
We'll be
soon.
back next year.
And
Bring on BMC 2023.
we will, and you can hear him on the Disco Bug in charge over there.
We are, actually.
idolradio.com. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you.
Love you.